Number 2 of the Bar South podcast. I'm here with the boys, Junior Hawk. What's going on, bud?
Not much.
And we got the homie from Oklahoma, came to kick it at my place, met this guy gaming, Mr. Eglaf. What's going on, bud?
Howdy, hey.
All right, boys. Well, question number 1 of the night. We'll jump right into it. Are the Jets sick?
It's not even a question. Well, we're 4 points out of the playoffs now.
Actually, we're 3 points out, I think.
3 points, yeah.
Well, we better pull up the standings here.
Only
make sure
3.
we get this shit correct. But, I mean, fuck.
Yeah, don't ask me. I'm in the C, so.
Yeah, we had a fire
we'll get
sale
to that
today.
later.
Yeah, we'll get to that. That's coming. But we had an absolute fire sale today. Like, holy fuck. Like,
Here, I can bring up our deals.
Yeah, fucking just talk about your DMs on Discord.
Okay, here, I'll pull up this screenshot on my phone. At one point, I had, let's see, I gotta count this up. I had 9 from one single guy. Alright, so 9 plus 1 and 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 22 DMs on Discord today. 9 from one owner.
22 DMs on Discord because
maybe JuniorHawk is cute.
We put our
It was a fire sale in Winnipeg.
We put our whole first line on the block. The whole first line. Winner on the block today.
No, the first line is?
Anth's gone. Oaf's gone. Spence gone.
See ya.
And get this, we get Bones. Bones on demand. We get him in a trade. And he says, trade me. And this is like 5 minutes before the deadline.
We trade him to a team worse than us.
We trade him to a team that's doing worse than us. Oh my god. He's like, that's not what I meant.
Lesson of the day. Lesson of the day,
well,
don't ego the Jets.
You do not ego these Jets.
Alright, so the deals we made today. We traded Frenchie himself, St. Michel, to get Yoshi from Dallas. Big move for both of us.
But it's a solid 1-for-1.
And then, big move for our first 2 guys, Spence and Ant. Love the guys. Wanted them to see on a solidified playoff team. Trade them to Philly for Downey, Mr. Kaner, and a 4th. So the boys get some assets back for next year. And we get Ant and Spence back as part of the deal.
Yeah, baby.
The big deal. Oafs and Neal for Bones on Demand, Gazurk, and a 4th.
Shit is blockbuster.
The triple today, Riven, a 2nd and a 3rd for Bones. So a 900K player for a 500K and 2 picks.
Yeah.
Fire sale in Winnipeg. Don't ego the Jets.
Bones has a $9 million contract. And we flipped him for a guy with a 500K contract. And we got 2 draft picks out of it. And that guy with the 500K contract actually has the same amount of points as Bones this year. So,
talk about a fire sale. God damn, boys.
Yeah, we moved everyone.
That was 1,
our
2,
first
3,
line defense.
4
gone.
deals.
Jesus.
And
you buy them from the box for 10 points, ass dudes. Like
God. We traded away probably 125 points off of our team today.
Got back a lot of draft picks.
Well, boys, we have a first-time LGCHL player here. So, Nick, let's just talk about your first season in the C. Where'd you start out at?
Well, it's been a ride, I'll tell you. I started out in Vancouver on the TC.
Fucking suitcase.
So these guys keep you updated about this. I'm on the TC. I'm like, what up? I can play whenever. Dude hits me up like 10 minutes before game. He's like, you ready to rock? I'm I'm like, you're weird, but yeah. He's right. So I'm like, all right, yeah, I'll play. It's my first LG game, right? Get in there. Don't know anything about anybody on this team, hardly. Barely been there. Don't know shit about nobody. Absolutely get donged. We get 7-0'd. Get donged. Okay? So I'm like, all right, just throw me on an absolute shitter line, and then I'm like, all right, go talk to this guy. He joins the party after the game, but he starts losing his brain. He loses his fucking bucket in the party. I'm like, yo, whenever you put five different guys with learning disabilities on one team, and you want to win, you should not be raging. Like, that is not what should happen. So I pretty much was not. I was kind of just annoyed. They ended up trading me like a few days later. I was like, all right, for that. I went to Kitchener. Spent most of my season there until about a few days ago. Had a great time, great ride. 500 team, but the boys are great. You know, they're good for the brand.
Love to hear
Winning and losing, not so good for the brand, but you know, it's okay. We're here to have fun. So you know, fire sale as always for every team ever last week. And I get shipped to Everett, and I join the Discord for them, and about 35 seconds after joining the Discord, I want to blow my head off. I tell them, no, I don't tell them shit, but I'm just looking in their Discord, and I'm like, yo, man, like, I'm telling you, talk about straight disabilities, these kids, man, they don't even know how to argue with each other. That's how, like, stupid. And they're just going off. You got this owner arguing with the other management. This dude they're fighting in the chat in front of everyone. I'm like sitting here and I'm just in awe. And then I open up the Discord tabs, you know, and then I see French chat and I'm immediately pissed. And then so I go and look at that shit.
They had a whole French chat on your team.
Yeah, and that shit is lit. That shit is lit. So the guys will go and post in the English chat, and then they'll post exactly what they posted there in the French chat for the guys who are French, right? And so
that's unreal.
That's got me rattled on a different kind of level. And so pretty much I told him the owner, he messages me, and he's like, all right, man, we need help. Our biggest problem has been on defense this year. Are you here to turn this thing around? And I'm like, buddy, your record for your team is 19-31. I'm not sure if I'm able to help that to an extent to make the playoffs, bud. Right. I don't say that to this guy. I think this to myself. But then this guy, he's like, I'm like, yo.
How the fuck are you supposed to
you know,
turn
if
around
you don't
19-31? Like, you're not. There's no way.
No. Like,
not
you're in the
enough time in the
shitter. Like,
season.
get some draft picks. Like, what are you doing?
Or get
Like,
some RAs because
no.
it's the CHL.
I know. Yes, I know. But fucking so then I just tell this dude, I'm like, yo, if your forwards are like trash, I'm like, you know, I can't. Like, I play defense, bro. Like, it's not my fault. I looked at the previous games that week. They lost about like 10-1, 7-2, 5-1. They won like they won like 4-3. And I was just like not having that immediately. But then they ended up trading me the next day, and that was real great. And now I'm at the Ruyan something.
Whatever the hell that team is.
However you say it.
Huskies.
Yes, sir.
The Huskies.
I
guys are
might
cool.
honestly have records on that team.
First
One
week
sec.
for LG tonight. Tonight we went 2-0, so making a big playoff push. I think we're in the 8th seed for our division, or for our conference, I mean. And we're in that one conference that's fucking huge. It has one big ass.
The whole queue is just like one massive conference, I think.
Yeah. Got 60 points on the season. It's pretty good. Got a lot of guys with over 40 points on the team, so I'm confident we can play well. But that's about how the CHL has been for me so far.
So, long story short, you've got a suitcase. Just
pretty
packing your
much.
shit and getting up to leave. And
Not really. I mean, I got traded in the first like 3 days. Stayed at Kitchener for until 2 days ago, and then I got traded twice.
I got double traded.
So really not that bad, but it's just fire sale season. So I mean, my record isn't that great. I'm only 4-8-1. Got a solid 6 points at defense for the boys. But you know, whenever you don't have elite teammates, you know, it's the way she goes. It's all right. We're here to have fun.
Record holds on. Don't worry.
You still have
I
you
still
have a
hold some
record?
records. Fuck yeah.
But Junior Hawk has
Most
records
goals
for my
in the
CHL team.
franchise. In 47 games played or something, I have 81 goals there. I have some more too. Oh, plus minus. Franchise plus minus for that team. I was plus 89 in one season. I was plus 57.
Nice. This guy's holding
Yeah,
records
that
in the
is
C.
elite.
Well, speaking of the CHL boys, we gotta talk
Yeah,
about
all day.
DQ. We gotta talk about DQ.
Let me before you go ahead and throw that around. Let me say, whenever I got traded from Kitchener, I look in the Discord and here's DQ's happy ass sitting in the chat right here on my CHL team. I said, "Hey pal, remember me?"
Holy shit. Well,
It's unreal. It was unreal.
basically, the backstory on DQ is he was a Jet for a decent amount of the season, right defenseman, and he did have the best record out of all of our defensemen, but that does not mean shit, dude. 90% of his
If I played
wins.
with Spence, Ant, and Oves, I would have
Yeah.
his record.
No.
I'm just saying.
You could put a CHLD pair out there instead of Steel Rain and DQ, and they would have won the same amount of games just by backpacking them. Just 100% backpacking them, and then fucking DQ throws a whole
Yeah,
hissy
until one of
fit.
them goes in Ant's Discord and rages.
Yeah. DQ literally goes in our Discord like, I don't care about stats, blah, blah, blah. And then we say something, we're like, we tell him about his play and like try to be constructive, and then he's like, oh, I have the best record on this team. I have the best plus minus. I have the most points out of all the defense. And like you just said, you don't care about stats. I don't know. He contradicts himself,
Nice stats, no stats.
and he's gonna end up being a CHL lifer, is what it comes down to.
You know, you live and you learn sometimes.
Well,
You live and you learn.
next point, boys. It was very short-lived, but the Blues won a Central Division game. And we're talking
Yeah, we're gonna talk.
real
Why are we
life.
talking about the Blues, man? That
These
hurts.
Blues won a Central Division game, put a whooping on Nashville, and then turned
Yeah,
around
then
the
we
next
played
night.
Anaheim.
Yeah, how
They're
did that
not-
Winnipeg game go?
Yeah, they turn around the next night and play Winnipeg, and fucking Patrick Laine tucks 5 Genos. He'd probably be like,
Single-handedly beat you guys.
the guy would
Yeah.
probably have. I saw this dumb stat. Like, if Patrick Laine was on the Kings, those 5 goals would put him second on the team in scoring. From
Yeah,
one
because they
game.
don't score goals. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so the Blues win a Central Division matchup for the first time since February of last season.
That's not gonna happen very often, so we're here savoring the moment. You
And then
know?
they turn around the next night and just get their cheeks absolutely clapped by the Finnish sensation, McCabe on
Well, you know,
Laine!
I'd like to say something about that. I would like to just go ahead and send a big fat @ sign to the fucking ownership of the St. Louis Blues. Like, here we go. We almost go to the Cup Finals, and we go off in the Western Conference Finals, and then they're like, okay, fuck our entire team. Let's get a whole
Yeah.
new team.
They make
That's a
the
great
Western
idea.
Conference Finals.
That's a really good idea.
For the first time in how many goddamn years? For the first time in my lifetime, they make the Western Conference Finals, and then they just have a fire sale in the off season. Trade everybody.
Yeah, they're treating it like it's LG. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing?
They literally managed it like an LG team. They're literally 2 games away from making the Stanley Cup.
Then they fire Hitchcock, and they get fucking Mike Yo. Alright, what an idea. Look how that turned out for you.
Worked out for half of a season because the boys just needed something to rally around, which is usually what happens. A coach gets canned, the team gets hot for a little bit with the
That's what
new
happened with
coach.
Vegas last
then it-
year. They
then it
rallied around the
fizzles out.
first year, and they
Then
went
it
the
fizzles
fuck
out.
off. And then this year, they fizzle right out.
Yep.
That's how it goes.
That's how you see that so much in
That's how-
professional sports. Like a coach gets fired, they bring in a new one, the team gets hot for a little
They're
bit, and then
elite.
it just
Like the
slowly
Browns?
fizzles out,
Like
and then
the
that
Browns
coach
today?
gets canned. It's a cycle.
Are we going to talk
off
about
today?
If we're talking winning games? Are we going to talk about Buffalo?
Dude, the Sabres are an
Are the
absolute
Sabres
unit.
sick?
They're what we want the Blues to be, yo. Like, come
Well, they
on.
have
We
half
want
our
the
players.
Jets to be.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
'Cause, the man
They have
said,
Vladimir
"Fuck our good team, let's
Patrick
fucking get rid of
Berglund,
them."
Tage Thompson.
Hey,
They got like a
the
first
worst
and
one,
second round
Carter
pick.
Hutton.
They have Carter
God
Hutton.
damn it. Yeah.
What do we
yeah.
have?
We
have Jake
got
Allen
rid of
and
Carter
Chad
Hutton, and I
Johnson.
was never more livid. I was never more livid. Jake Allen played one good goalie series in a playoff series in his life. That's the only time he ever did anything.
Yeah, and he's been a bum the
I
rest
miss
of his
saying
career.
Moose or just looking at Carter Hutton in the net.
Dude,
One or
Carter
two.
Hutton led the league in save percentage and goals against average last year. So we trade him. Are you?
Yeah, good. That is their mindset.
the motto.
It is absolutely awful.
All right. Well,
It's a
if we-
sad world being
If
a
we
Blues
talk
fan
about
out
the
here,
Blues
guys.
management for too long, I'm gonna blow a fucking gasket. So let's bring it to a lighter story here. Waterloo Warriors, Midwest High School
The
Hockey
hometown
League,
team.
baby, hometown team.
Hometown team.
Graduated
Yes.
from there 3 years ago. Absolutely ripping it up, Mr. Junior Hawk. What can you tell us about this season?
We are just sick all around. Up and down lineup. Best goalie in the state by far. Three
Been
leading
confirmed.
scores in the league, all on one line.
Aggressive
Can we
goalie.
hear your
Sounds-
win-loss record,
It's
please?
unbeatable.
What's
You
the
guys-
win-loss
you guys
record
are
sitting at?
11-0 now.
We're 11-0 now. Yep.
Yeah.
One state championship served on a silver platter.
And,
I wouldn't say that.
Yeah.
You got to grind,
Kansas
but
City.
I'm just saying.
Kansas
It's
City
there
might
for
be
the
hanging
taking.
around. Probably. They're usually somewhat relevant. Sioux City should be a good test, too.
Sioux City 7-1-1. We go there this weekend. Second place team versus first place.
Yeah, that'll be tough in their barn.
Everybody's voting. They
Big
might hand
time
us our
tilt.
first loss this year.
That'll be tough in their
Not if
barn.
you got the white line out there.
The
Well,
white line's going to tear it up anyways.
I mean,
It's just facts.
yeah. Big facts. Well, while we're on
Chase
the
Pascal,
topic.
that's in no soft goals.
Yeah.
And
Well-
their leading scores a D-man at the moment, so
Yeah, sounds familiar to my fucking senior year. Holy shit.
Acting like you were tucking.
I did. I actually
their
sniped.
D-man has 8 tucks. 3 on the power play. This dude's going down high slot, just ripping one-knee clappers, guaranteed.
It's the next
We're just
round,
gonna have to
Reeves.
run. We're
Don't
gonna have
talk
to
about
run a
it.
tight diamond here, so he can't get down in the high slot.
Ginger Ninja is in the stream, boys. This is episode number 2. You bet your sweet bippy it is. Well, while we're on the topic of the Waterloo Warriors, I know you've got some good Brian Cook stories. Head coach of the Waterloo Warriors. I know you've got a
Man
couple
himself.
of gems for us.
Okay, well, let's just start out with his introduction to the freshmen, and they get their first taste of what we call cookies.
5-second moment of silence for that one.
That was new to me. That was new to me.
First team meeting we hold after one summer ice. Brian Cook, middle of the speech, just goes, "Bullshit." And let me tell you, me and Ben Sennett just had a blast with that one the rest of the day. Let's see. Let's talk about Brian Cook ripping all of us upperclassmen the other day for being mean to the freshmen on the bench.
Yeah, like, what's that about, dude? Like, have some
The boys-
seniority around
Nah,
here.
I'll keep my mouth shut. Yeah.
Type of dudes
let's
to walk
see.
across the
There's some
logo
other-
and shit. Like, you kidding me?
Oh,
Yeah,
Brian
I will
Cook's telling
say-
us on a daily when he slashes us that we play hockey like a bunch of pussies. That in
Well,
his day, that was clean. That's just every time
we-
you touch the ice
If
against
we
him.
want to talk about Brian Cook slashing people at practice, my senior
Drew
year,
Westfall still
'cause
needs a stick.
our coach comes out in full gear for pracky. Full gear, we're having a scrimmage.
Did he have the bubble on?
No, he just had a regular bucket on.
Oh,
And he takes a full-on two-hand chop on this kid's twig and just snaps it in half. Oh my god. He was so shook. He's like, what the He like throws the broken stick in like 2 different directions. Like throws both of them and just fucking pouts his way off the ice like Holy shit.
Oh, no. What we're having a blast this year with is, you know, when you texted Cook and, like, ask a question or say, like, you're not going to be at practice, how he responds with, okay, thanks, period, and that's it, but it's always THX.
Yeah.
Keegan Smith's having a blast with that one this year. Every time Bo says something in the group chat or Brian writes something on the board, Keegan replies with that.
Speaking of the board,
Tell the coach to get
you
chirped.
guys ever like put some bullshit on the fucking whiteboard in the locker room still?
Yeah, we were
Like-
keeping track of how many 2 and a 10s I had.
That's pretty good. Fuck, I'm
After
trying
I
to think of...
Jablonski'd a kid on accident. I don't know if you hear this, but I just want to give a quick shout out to Carter Herbst. You're going through some rough times right now. I hope it works out, buddy. I will not say
we better,
reasons
yeah, we
why.
better keep that one
God,
under
buddy,
wraps.
I hope it works out.
But Herbst, buddy, if you're listening to the pod right now, oh my god, I wish you Godspeed in dealing with that.
Mark might kill you, dude.
Holy shit.
That kid's gonna be a grinder, though.
Well, boys,
All 6'1",
kinda-
193 pounds.
I kind of did this last time with Rex and Grease, but just quick before we get into the last point, which is going to be the best part of the epi. Don't at me. But I just want to hear you guys. I guess I'll start with Junior. Your biggest issue with NHL 19 and the biggest pro with NHL 19. So pros and cons.
Cons, the 2 goals that went in against us in LG tonight.
Okay, Jesus H.
Um,
Christ.
You know, that's
Dude,
a whole
I-
new story.
That whole game. We lost 2-1. All 3 goals in the
I
game
scored-
were own goals.
I
Own
dumped
goals.
the puck and then the guy passed it into his own net on
Yeah.
accident.
At
Not
least
trying to. Like, it
least
should have
the
been
one
an
we
easy
scored-
D to D pass.
the guy fucking passed it into his own net. Ours, fucking, the first one, our defenseman stick touches it and it goes shoom into our net. It just snipes. Like, all right.
Okay, another pro, I'd have to say, the skill gap's not there anymore. Especially in, like, 6v6, you
that
can
a
tell
pro
when the
or a
skill gap's
con?
not there. Con.
He said pro. He had me confuzzled there for a second.
Oh, yeah,
But-
no, con. Major con.
Yeah,
Like,
that-
we should have dummied Chicago tonight.
absolutely. Completely outplayed him. And just,
Another con, I'd say just, like, the game, like, penalties-wise, like, charging and stuff like that, but that's just here nor there. Like, you can't really control those, and it happens against everyone.
yeah,
Pros, I'd say, honestly, stick penalties are good this year, I think, if you're smart
Yeah.
with it. Like, the amount of
Absolutely.
times I hit RB in an NHL game is maybe once or twice.
Yeah, I don't think I'd.
I rarely hit A.
Well, as far as poke checking goes, I probably poke like once or twice, but I will use my stick to
Yeah.
take away lanes and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
two
I'll
completely
definitely
different
hold out
things.
RB.
Yeah.
Pros, I'd say I want to say goal scoring, but it kind of depends with game mode because a con is goal line goalie.
Oh,
Oh my
fucking
God.
Christ. Jesus H. Christ, dude.
That's brutal.
Like, we should have had 2 goals tonight against Chicago. Backdoor goals, and the kid's just sitting there in the middle of the net not doing anything, and it goes
Oh.
right into his glove.
Oh, if we're on that topic of goal scoring, another con, I can't go forehand backhand quick anymore.
Yep. Yeah, like, what's
Dunking
that?
is just harder.
Yeah, it is a lot harder to dunk on breakaways because you can't pull it backhand like you used to be able to.
I will say another pro would be how people have to like utilize their defense now in the D zone with the bumping and all that.
Mhm.
Kind of utilizes the whole team, like D to D shots and all that. All right, Nick, your turn.
Yep, Mr. Eglaf, bring it in. I want to point out to the people before we jump into this that he's a new player. Like, NHL 18 was really his first experience with Chell. So keep that in mind. He didn't play on the old gen, so he can't compare it to that. So he's not going to be biased because of fucking,
No, yeah,
nostalgia. So
One former NHL game before this experience of NHL. I got a few cons and then a big con. Is that allowed? Like a few small cons and then and I got a big one. Like
just bring it in.
Few small things. I think the puck pickup is quite brutal. Charging is broke, and 5-hole goals are kind of OP a little bit. In my opinion, not so much. They could be turned down to 10.
It depends how
but
your
more so
goalie
charging
plays.
and puck pickup. Charging is god awful, and the puck pickup that's like playing the fucking first month of Madden 19 with all the bounces and trying to pick up a fumble. That's the equivalent of the puck on the ice. If anybody's ever played Madden 19 the beginning of this year, yeah, trying to pick up a fumble is equivalent to trying to pick up the puck in traffic. Also, if there's an AI, it's absolutely impossible to get past him. It is absolutely impossible.
To clarify, we're talking about EASHL AIs right here.
Yes. Strictly EASHL.
100% of the time,
biggest con
he's the
I
best
see
defender.
As that instead of actually trying to do things to make the game better, Rammer's too busy on Twitter talking shit.
Dude, he was too. He was chirping on Twitter.
Yeah.
He was chirping. What is it? He was chirping the Flames fans, I want to say.
Yeah.
He was chirping the Flames fan. He was like, why are you working on your game or something like that? And he's like, sorry, I was too busy watching the Canucks score again.
Exactly. The maker of the game who lives or is from
Granted,
a
EA's
place
offices
that
are in
there
Vancouver,
isn't
though,
ice. But I'm just saying, come on, man, there's a lot of obvious shit. You could just do a few things better. Everyone likes the beta, and then you just change the entire game. It just doesn't make any sense. No. Doesn't make any sense. Pro, though, I think full human sixes is not bad. I think the skating mechanic is pretty good.
Skating's the best
really,
it's been in forever.
There's really not a lot of I think the human 6v6 full sixes is pretty good in creating there is a bigger skill gap, I guess, is the right way to say that. When you have that.
Yeah.
If you play Hut. If I played somebody else in Hut or something or in Versus, right, I could say stay within a goal or two. But if I play an entire team of people like you versus an entire team of people like me in EASHL, you guys are going to beat us 7-0.
Yeah.
Minimum. That's it. There's an actual skill gap, so I think it makes it fun. Right.
Yeah.
I think the AIs, I don't know what to say about that. It's because I feel like all the different game modes are kind of like different games. They feel different.
Completely
they play different.
So it's like two completely different games this year. Hut versus
I don't think that's very
Eagle.
good.
Two completely different games.
Online versus, you feel like you literally have five bricks tied to each foot. The speed of that is so bad in online versus. It's so slow.
And you guys can't hit the net to save their lives.
I don't think they're doing an awful job with the EASHL full. If you got full human sixes, I don't think it's awful. I think
sixes will always be playable.
I think it's good to play. It's fun.
No matter what product they put out, sixes will always be playable.
Because the worst thing that can happen is going to be the penalties and puck pickup. But other than that, with the skating being changed, there's not a lot of too much stupid ass shit. That's that's gonna tilt you, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot less
lack of a better term
there. Stuff this year that's gonna just piss me right off than there was last year.
Correct.
But I want to actually touch on. You talked about the puck pickups a lot. They actually they made them worse in the. I don't know if it was the last tuner or the one before that, but they made the pickup box smaller.
Yeah, I think that was a couple of tuners
ago. It literally has to be right on your tape now. Whereas your guy would reach out and grab it if it was a foot or so off. They made the pickup box
it's weird.
smaller.
A lot of people, I've seen not a lot, but I've seen a lot more than I would thought playing forward positions at defense or vice versa just to get a better pickup for their player. they'll sacrifice some of the other stats just to get the better pickup.
Mhm.
Like this one guy was running sniper at defense because the puck pickup was insane. I don't recommend that, but
Do not
I'm
recommend,
just saying.
but
Oh yeah. If you're going defense, you go puck moving D-man. That's pretty much period or two-way. Other than that, you're doing something wrong. If you're playing sixes there.
boys, we got Ginger Ninja in the chat, and he says his biggest complaint, simply the fact that EA continues to deny dynamic difficulty adjustment.
Correct.
Where also
it's
known
proven
as
in their term, not their
ice
terms of
tilt.
service, but in their
They do have it patented.
game disclosements.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they have a
That's what I'm
patent
saying.
for
It's actually in there.
DDA, dynamic difficulty adjustment. I think it is.
Right.
Which, and I want to say this: nobody is claiming that a game is 100% scripted. Nobody has ever. I'm sure people have, but people in their right mind are not going to say
Right.
that game 100%. No matter what I did, I was not going to win it. It decided before the puck dropped he was going to win. But to say
Just
there's
certain
not
times in the
some sort
games.
of balancing mechanic is
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. It's dumb, man. Like, you know, I can go play. I don't play hardly ever any HUD or anything like that, and I can go play that stuff and like be not stupid, not terrible.
Not be terrible.
It's because like the game. I'm not saying that the game just like gives me shit, but like it definitely helps. Like I'm telling you, because I'm sure everyone's played a HUD game or two where you're the guy with 9 minutes on attack to his minute and 58 seconds, and you're the one with 38 shots, and he's the one with 7, and the score
and you
is
lose
2-1.
the game 2-1. Yeah,
Yeah.
some shit like that.
Yeah. Alright, and the whole game you're just sitting there like you can't pick up the puck the entire game. You can't, your passes, none of them get through, but his sauce passes go through 5 guys, things like that.
Yeah.
Just add up. Also, I will
Can we
say, I do think that public sixes feels a small bit different than private match sixes.
Yes.
I haven't lagged out of a private match all year.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying lagouts. I'm just saying I think the game still feels a tad bit different. Like I
Yeah.
don't know really
It's
what
just
different
but I do
between
think it's not
drop-ins
exactly
and
the
that
same.
too.
Yeah.
The other years past, the private match sixes has been like the same settings as drop-ins.
Hopefully it's not
the
that
drop-ins,
more, though, 'cause that's-
the skating and shooting has actually boosted a little bit. I do believe.
Yeah.
Don't quote
Yeah.
me on that, but
Yeah.
I believe that's a thing.
I mean, that wouldn't be an awful idea because mostly anyone who's playing, drop-ins like that is going to be a newer player trying to learn the game. So it's
Well-
not an awful idea, but it's not good for competitiveness.
Boys, we're gonna try to wrap this up here.
Okay, can we add one quick topic?
Oh, what do you got for us?
Will Bo Cook ever delete Fortnite?
The answer
He's
is
asked
no.
to play
Never.
again.
Is he asking us
He's
right now?
asked us to play again.
Did he just
Yep,
ask us to
he
play?
said, anyone want to run some Fort?
I re-downloaded that game just to play a few rounds with Bo because I felt bad.
Yeah, the only reason I ever go on that game is to play with him. Not because I want to play Fortnite, but it's because the only game he owns that we all own.
I mean, he's got like NHL 17. He's got like NCAA football on his 360. But that's about the extent of Bo Cook's gaming list.
Yeah. But don't even get me going on Fortnite. I'll make a whole episode talking about how Fortnite.
Yeah,
ruined
we'll do
that
that
game.
another time.
But if you look at the life cycle of Fortnite, isn't that kind of where every game that comes out is nowadays?
They just piss their own shit down the
Every
drain,
game.
So
NHL 19, the beta comes out, everyone's like, "Oh, this game's sick. It's the greatest NHL ever
then
made.
they fuck it right up.
It has the potential to be, the best of all time." They tweak the shit out of it. Everyone's pissed. Game went from like a 9.5 to like a 5.5 on a scale of 1 to 10.
The only people who publicly endorse the game still are game changers that have to. Even some of them, like the ones we play with, still bash the game.
Which
We're not naming no names.
they don't
Nope.
necessarily bash the game, but they voice their
They agree
concerns
with us.
about what's
Yes.
wrong with it. And
But
that's why they're
even-
game changers.
Even the
It's,
game
you know,
changes,
that's-
nothing. I mean, hardly anything ever happens. Unfortunately, it seems like
yeah, and we touched on that last
not even their
episode.
voices can be heard.
The game changers, they voiced their displeasure with some of the tuners that came out, and we haven't seen any changes. At the end of the day, they're not the ones that have the final say. But
And it is what it is.
boys, it's story time here on the Bar South podcast. Friday night, for some reason, I ended up at the drag show. No homo, no sus shit.
Yo,
The boys,
not on some Dwight Howard sus shit.
the boys were at the drag
That's
show.
a whole nother story.
So
Yeah.
basically, Iowa big last second field goal win over Nebraska. Fuck Nebraska. But everyone's fired up like, hey, we got to go to the bars tonight. So, duh.
100%.
Yeah. After that, the Iowa City's gonna be buzzing. So we go out and we go to this place that has karaoke and shit. And Blue Moose, the Blue Moose Tap Room. And I'm with two of my boys and like a group of girls. And this group of girls has a gay friend that's hitting them up. Like, hey, we're going to Studio 13, which is like quote unquote the gay bar down there. And they're having the drag show. So they're all like, we're going to studio to go to the drag show. Like, you guys can come. Huh.
You're just like,
I
fuck.
mean, well, like, what are we going to do? Sit there at the fucking Blue Moose Tap Room and sing karaoke with us three dudes? Like, no.
Wrong.
Wrong. So, long story short, we're at the drag show, and one of my boys was tipping the drag queen, and then, they got a little
Fine.
smoochy on. Little smoochy with the drag queen, and that's just right in the category of things you hate to see.
That's a max finable offense.
Oh, yeah. Well, boys, if you have any last points before we wrap up the pod, let me know. Otherwise, it's a pleasure having you guys on.
Had a
Pleasure
great time
being
out.
here.
Had a great time out. I think next week we might mix in the Man Rocket pod, a little Kurt Ball and Neil action on the pod.
Oh, yeah.
Special guest galore on the Bar South pod.
I might be
Let's
making a
go.
special appearance if these Jets are in a playoff spot by then.
Oh, absolutely. We're going to run our traps. If these Jets make,
See if the fire sale
make the
worked.
playoffs, we're going to run our mouths on this podcast. You heard it here first, folks. I'm going to probably get a one-season ban from LG if we make the playoffs just from running my trap. So, anyway, thanks for coming out to the Bar South Podcast episode number 2. We'll have this baby uploaded as soon as she's done downloaded.